Hey guys! I love you guys so much. I love the fact that you guys show up and you come here and you comment and you engage. I think it's amazing. And one of my intentions with this channel is really bringing together a community, because I find in my personal life it is really hard for me to let people in intimately, and yeah, I just feel like this channel gives me the support that I need to understand that I'm not alone, and I really want you to understand that you're not alone as well, and we are in this together. So today I really want to address trauma, and I know that I speak a lot about positivity, the law of attraction, but I think that it's a matter that has to be addressed, because as much as we want to focus continuously forward and focus on the good vibrations of how we want to feel and we align with those feelings, there is something really real happening in our human bodies when we ground back down. Whether that's fight or flight or feeling paranoid in certain situations or scenarios, we must learn to come back within our bodies, not react from a place that is linked to a past event. A lot of us are subliminally reacting from a place of trauma and we're not even aware of it. And I find that to be so profound. And I started reading The Body Keeps the Score, and it says that 1 in 5 Americans have been molested. 1 in 4 grew up with alcoholics. 1 in 3 couples have engaged in physical violence. And I just find that so awakening. So recently a lot of trauma has come up to the surface for me, and that is totally normal to experience these flashbacks or these memories later in your life, because the mind tries to protect us from traumatic events. And so we won't remember it clearly. And if you have a feeling like an intuitive knowing that something happened to you, that is totally valid and that should not be discarded. Because you may be functioning from a place of living through your traumatic event and reacting to the external from that place. So when we can ground within ourselves and show up for that, show acknowledgement towards that hardship that we've been through, we can make ourselves feel safe again. Last night, my roommate had some friends over, and it really triggered me to stick to myself. And I've always had a really hard time letting people in, and that's why I'm so grateful for this channel, because it really helps me feel seen. And I didn't realize how hard it was for me to connect with people. I always felt like people were a threat. I always kind of felt like people were hard to trust. I really find it hard to confide in people and find a sense of safety within other people's presence, because I always feel like maybe they're out to get me, or, you know, and of course I don't want to identify with this way of being, but I find when I totally disassociate with it and I focus on, yes, how do I want to feel from this experience, like, it discards a lot of what I've been through. And in reality, my inner child just needs to be seen and heard and felt through that. So I think it's important to understand how our hardships have shaped us to be in this now moment, but also to integrate that past experience into our present so that we can move forth in a way that feels safe, it feels, you know, more aligned with where we're going. We're not reacting from a place that is really coming from a trauma response. So a lot of us are attracting certain people or certain situations that are reenacting the traumatic event that we have been through. And this can be terrifying, which is why I for so long turned to isolation, or why you may turn to only being able to drink around your friends or whatever coping mechanism that you use. This is a blessing, as horrifying as it is to relive the experience. A lot of people attract partners or attract situations to them that resemble this because of tied beliefs that we have to this event, whether that has to do with our worth, whether that has to do with things of what we believe about ourselves, how much of ourselves we can give to another to make it seem like we're good enough. This is a blessing, because when these people or when these situations come up for you, this is a chance to heal and recognize where you are still functioning from. So it's important to be aware of your actions or how you respond around different people, because this brings up certain beliefs that you may have about yourself. I think we do need to see our hardships from this place of that divine unfolding, and understanding from that contrast of experience, new desires were born. from experiencing a traumatic event at a young age, we discovered who we are. You know, we discovered what we truly want out of our life from that horrifying event maybe happening to us. And I think it is important to address this because so many of us are going through this and we're not even aware of it. And you know, like that trend, like call her daddy or call him daddy, that comes from a place of being traumatized, maybe with a fatherly figure or a motherly figure, and not having that masculine figure to show up for us. So we look for our partner to provide it for us. Our partners are not here to parent us. We must give ourselves that healing. And yes, we can work with our partner to do this energetic work, to see each other through our traumatic experiences. But we can't just look to them as our father or as our mother. You know, we have to have that sense of healing within ourselves and really cope with, okay, like that incident happened to me when I was younger, or when I was 18, or when I was 30. And how can I best integrate this into my experience, in my now moment, in my daily life, so that I am not functioning from a place of unconsciousness, unconscious wounding. So when we bring awareness to this, we are no longer running away from our trauma, from what we've been through. We are addressing it for what it is. We're reshifting, we're reshaping our beliefs tied to that event. We're accepting the event for what it is. We're choosing, I am worthy. That event does not define me. Actually, it makes me stronger. It builds my character. And you start to reshape the story. Amazing. It's literally magic. We have a choice. We can choose to choose evil on this path, or we can choose to anchor into the light that we are here to embody, to raise the frequencies, to uplift all of this darkness that this planet has been through, that we have been through as humans. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve this suffering. And when we become a victim to our stories, to our traumatized events, we create our suffering. And there is a lot of pain that comes from certain situations that we have been through, but we do not deserve to stay there. So when we can recognize it, instead of bypassing it, instead of ignoring it, we are becoming one with it as the harmonious unfolding of our nature. Because no, we do not deserve to go through it, but recognize where you have come as a result from what you have been through. For me, I would not be sitting here talking today, speaking about different psychological issues, speaking about mental health, speaking about spirituality, because from my traumatized events, I was gifted the insight of incorporating spirituality into my path. So there are many blessings that are born out of what you have been through, and they deserve to be recognized, focused upon, nurtured. And if something is calling to you from what you have been through, notice that, honor that, and give yourself permission to dive into it. You are safe to do so. You are so safe and loved. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through what you went through. But these are gifts in disguise, and they do not deserve to have power over us, that our whole life is dedicated towards functioning underneath this unconscious place of hurting others or turning to certain voids to cope with it. But when we can understand that there is something deeper behind, underneath why we are alcoholics, or why we are, coping in certain ways, like through voids, or through women, or through pornography, or through, sleeping with different men, we can bring awareness to this, integrate it, recognize where that comes from, and then start to heal accordingly. We're not just bypassing it anymore. We're choosing to see where that comes from. We're choosing to see where we are functioning from. It's something underneath. We all are the way that we are for a reason. And a lot of us have been through a lot. Okay, we've been through some shit. We have, and we deserve to feel safe within our bodies, within our presence, within our life, with other people. And I totally feel you. If you have pushed people away in life, if you've turned to unhealthy coping mechanisms to cope with uncomfortable, anxious feelings underneath. And for me, that was pulling my hair. I started pulling my eyebrows and eyelashes at a very young age. I started getting really depressed. I started getting really anxious. And all of this started in 3rd grade. And not until recently did I connect the dots and understand that that may have happened from a traumatic event that had happened to me around that period of time. So it is important to see yourself through that. And a lot of pharmaceutical companies, a lot of Western medicine doctors take the approach of just medicating people up for these symptoms that actually tie back to a deeper root. So when we can look back into the deeper root, we can integrate it, we can show it love, we can accept it, we don't resist it, we allow it to come to the surface, breathe into it, give it the love that it needs, really hear it, we can start to heal. We can start to heal from a deeper place, not just putting a temporary band-aid on something that is much deeper and deserves to have recognition for. As human beings, we have needs, and these needs deserve to be met. And unfortunately, a lot of us come from backgrounds where our parents didn't know how to parent us, and they come from traumatic backgrounds, and so they were just functioning from this unconscious wounding. A lot of people are functioning from this unconscious wounded place, and they are hurting others through this because they don't know how to cope. So if someone has done something to you that is terrifying and horrifying, it does not excuse that, but try to see it from this place of all of us coming from these backgrounds of, most of us coming from these backgrounds of not being parented, you know, in the way that we needed, or raised in the way that felt safe and grounded. And that's really what this is about, is bringing this to the surface, bringing conscious awareness to these events that may have happened from ancestral lines passed down to us so that we can transcend it. What a beautiful gift. We are here creating a new earth, creating a new way of being, and one that is more aligned with this healing. We don't have to turn to masks or believe we need to be someone that we're not in order to cope with it, or we don't need to pull our hair or turn to alcohol or turn to smoking or some type of coping mechanism, when in reality our trauma really just wants to be seen, and those feelings underneath want to be validated. So I invite you, if you are aware of trauma that you have been through, validate your feelings, be with you, be with your inner child who wants to be seen, be with that adult who craves love more than anything from you. Because a lot of us are turning to partnerships to give us that love that we seek, that we did not get from our parents. Our needs were not met in this society, obviously, because we're all functioning from this traumatic place. You know, and when we slow down, we root into something deeper, we breathe into it, we are healing. We are healing. We're not reacting to our partners from this hurt place. We're not reacting to our siblings from a place of confusion. So I really invite you to sit with it, to breathe into it, and just accept it. Really just accept what you've been through. It's not who you are. It's not your identity, but it is a part of your journey, and it deserves to be integrated into your experience so that you can move forth in a way that is more aligned with not coming from a place, again, from fight or flight or paranoia. So thank you for joining me today, and this topic is really dear to me, especially since so many of us deal with traumatic events. And I really honor you, I really see you, I really validate your experience, and I'm here for you. I'm here for you because I've been through it as well. I've been through certain situations that have traumatized me, and it wasn't until recently that I understood that I was functioning from this traumatic place. You know, it's so easy to disidentify with it and turn to certain egos or identities to cope with it. I will link down my email below if you want to email me. We can do one-on-one coaching, we can do a Zoom call, phone call, whatever. I also have Instagram, you can DM me. We can sit heart to heart and just dive into what you have been through, and I can really see you through these deep waters, because I am going through my deep waters as well, and the fact that I'm able to do that for myself, I know that I'm able to do that for others. So I'm here for you. I educate myself on books, got some books. I am a psychology student right now. I don't take the traditional Western approach. I see it for what it is, but I choose my own path and what works for me. So we can work with whatever you feel is best for you. I work with angels, I work with spirit guides. I do oracle card readings. I am getting my life coach certification right now. I am a Reiki master level healer and teacher. I'm here for it. I'm here on earth for it, and I'm here for you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being on this planet. It is a wild time where a lot of traumatic events are coming to the surface for us, and a lot of us are understanding the abuse that we experienced throughout our lives, and really attracting this from this place of this whole society functioning from trauma and not knowing how to cope with it. So we're projecting it onto others, you know, we're manipulating others for the love that our inner child really seeks. Such a profound topic, and I'm so thankful that I was able to go a little bit into it today. It just branches out into infinite topics and discussions. So if there's anything that comes up for you, if you feel safe to mention it down below, please do so. I'm here for you. This is a safe space for you. I'm just here for it. This is my purpose. This is what I'm here to do. My foot just fell asleep. Oh my gosh. Okay. So again, my name is Claudia Auger. Thank you for joining me here today. I just so grateful that I was able to touch upon a little bit of this topic. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any commentary, go down below, leave some feedback, leave some positivity, leave some healing insight for other people, so that they can heal as well. We're all in this together. I got you, and I know you guys got me, and it's just such a blessing to be a part of the community. So yes, thank you, and thank you for doing the work. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being on this planet. It is super freaking intense, and you are not alone in it.